Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to dive deep into the heart of your boat's outboard engine. We're talking about a super tiny component that has a massive job, the marine spark plug. Seriously, this little guy is the unsung hero that can literally make or break your day out on the water. So, has this ever happened to you? Your engine's running rough, maybe losing a little power. Yeah, pretty much every boater knows that sinking feeling. Your engine's idling all uneven. It kind of stutters when you try to accelerate, or just doesn't have that punch it used to. It's so frustrating, right? We've all been there. Well, before you start picturing a huge repair bill and a major overhaul, take a breath. The solution might be way simpler and a whole lot cheaper than you think. In fact, it's probably hiding in plain sight, right there under the engine's cover, just waiting for you. So let's go ahead and lift that cover and take a closer look. First up, we're going to get to know this unsung hero and figure out exactly why it deserves so much of our attention. So what is a spark plug, anyway? In the simplest terms, it's the match that lights the fire in your engine. It creates this tiny but incredibly powerful bolt of lightning inside each cylinder, and it has to do it at the perfect moment. That spark ignites the mix of fuel and air, and boom, that's what pushes the piston down and gives you power. It's that simple. No spark, no power. It is absolutely fundamental. Okay, now here's a huge one. This is where a lot of people make a big mistake. You might be tempted, to save a few bucks and grab a cheaper automotive plug from the auto parts store. Don't do it. It's a massive mistake. These two things are absolutely not interchangeable. Marine plugs are built totally different. They use special materials to fight off that constant attack from moisture, from salt, and from all that intense engine vibration. Trust me, the source material makes it clear from firsthand experience. An automotive plug will fail on you, and it will fail fast, probably leaving you stranded. But here's the really cool part. A spark plug does way more than just create a spark. It's also a fantastic diagnostic tool. Think of it like a little window into the health of your engine. It literally tells you a story about what's going on inside. And this quote here from Walker Smith over at Wire to Fish just nails it. The condition of your old plugs gives you direct clues about, everything, from your fuel mixture all the way to the health of your piston rings. Seriously, learning how to read your spark plugs is one of the most valuable skills any boater can have. So let's break down what those plugs are actually saying. What you want to see is a nice, light tan or grayish-brown color. That means everything's healthy. But if you pull it out and see this dark, powdery soot, that's a sign your engine is running rich. It's getting too much fuel. Now, if it's wet and oily, that could mean you've got an internal oil leak. And that white, chalky look? Okay, that's a big red flag. That's a serious warning sign that your engine is overheating. Each of these is pointing you to a specific problem you get to investigate. And all those visual signs we just talked about, they translate directly into performance problems that you can actually feel and hear. Things like a rough idle, engine misfires or stutters when you give it some gas, it's hard to start, or you just notice a real loss of power. These are all classic symptoms that your plugs are either fouled up or just plain worn out. And yeah, you'll probably notice you're hitting the fuel dock a lot more often too. All right, so you've diagnosed the problem and it's time for some new plugs. Now for the fun part. In this next section, we're going to walk through the whole process, step by step. And look, this is a maintenance task that you can absolutely do yourself. Doing it right is the key. First things first, let's get our tools together. And you don't need some massive mechanics chest for this, okay? You'll need a specific spark plug socket, an extension to help you reach them, a gap tool, and a torque wrench. Those are the essentials. And listen, for marine use, anti-seize and dielectric grease, they are not optional. They are your absolute best defense against corrosion. Okay, here's the game plan. Just 6 simple steps. Number 1, safety first. Always, always disconnect the battery before you start. Number 2, carefully take out the old plugs and make sure you pull on the boot, not the wire. You can damage it. After you've gapped the new plugs, you're going to thread them in by hand first. This is super important to avoid costly cross-threading damage. Finally, you'll use that torque wrench to tighten them to the exact spec and then reconnect the boot with a little bit of that dielectric grease. Now let's talk about tightening for a second, because precision here is everything. See this number? 18 foot-pounds. That's the specific torque setting for a lot of Mercury outboards. Now, your engine will have its own specs, so check your owner's manual. But whatever it is, guessing is not an option. Seriously, if you over-tighten, you can damage the cylinder head. If you under-tighten, you get bad performance, or the plug could even work itself loose. Just use a torque wrench. And here is a pro tip for you that will save you a monster headache down the road, especially if you're boating in salt water. Put a tiny little dab of anti-seize compound on the threads. This stuff is magic. It prevents the steel plug from basically getting welded to the aluminum cylinder head from corrosion. Trust me, it makes the next time you have to change your plugs so much easier.
Okay, new plugs are in. Looks great. Now let's talk about keeping them and your whole engine healthy for the long haul. This part is all about being proactive, extending the life of your stuff and stopping problems before they can even start.
It really comes down to 4 simple habits that make a huge difference. First, a well-tuned engine with clean fuel filters. That's what prevents that ugly fouling. Second, keep your cooling system clear of debris. That's how you stop that overheating that causes those chalky white deposits. Also, try to avoid just sitting there idling for long periods of time. That really reduces carbon buildup. And finally, just use good, high-quality fuel and oil. It helps the whole system run cleaner and way more efficiently. So as we start to wrap this up, it really all comes back to one simple idea. The spark plug is a small part, it's an inexpensive part, but its impact is absolutely enormous. Doing this right isn't just about getting better performance or saving a little gas. It's about reliability. It's about having that peace of mind, that confidence that your engine is going to start and get you home safely every single time. So the next time you're doing some routine maintenance, really take a close look at those old plugs you pull out. Don't just toss them. Think of them as a message straight from your engine. The real question is, what is your engine trying to tell you? Thanks for tuning in.